When you think of cutting-edge aerial combat, a few names inevitably rise to the top, and the F-22 Raptor has earned its place at the very front of that list. Priced at a staggering $335 million per aircraft, this stealth fighter represents one of the most advanced engineering feats in aviation history. For perspective, the same budget could launch a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket into orbit 5 times, and still leave you with enough change to fund a decent satellite payload. But unlike a rocket that makes its one-way trip into the void, the F-22 Raptor is built for sustained dominance in the skies, combining speed, stealth, agility, and unmatched situational awareness into a single, lethal package. Born from Cold War competition, the Raptor's story began in the closing years of the Cold War, a period defined by intense technological rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, American defense planners were closely watching Soviet aircraft like the Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker and the Mikoyan MiG-29 Fulcrum, which were setting new performance standards for maneuverability and speed. The US Air Force wanted a fighter that could not only match but surpass these threats in every category. In 1997, after years of secretive development by Lockheed Martin, the first F-22 was rolled out and took to the skies for its maiden flight. This was not just another fighter, it was an entirely new breed of warplane, a revolution in fighter design. What set the F-22 apart from every fighter before, it was its ability to merge several groundbreaking capabilities into a single unified platform. It was the first operational aircraft to seamlessly combine Supercruise, allowing it to sustain supersonic speeds without relying on fuel-hungry afterburners. Super maneuverability, giving it exceptional agility even during extreme high-speed or high-angle maneuvers. Stealth technology, which suppressed its radar, infrared, acoustic, and visual signatures. And sensor fusion, which integrated multiple streams of data into one clear, real-time picture for the pilot. Together, these advancements gave the Raptor's pilots unmatched control, heightened awareness, and superior survivability, a combination so far ahead of its time that it left rival air forces racing to catch up. The thrust vectoring edge. One of the keys to the Raptor's extraordinary agility lies in its thrust vectoring system. Unlike conventional jets, the F-22's twin Pratt & Whitney F119-PW-100 turbofan engines feature pitch-axis vectoring nozzles. These can redirect the exhaust flow by more than 20 degrees up or down, allowing the aircraft to pivot sharply in midair, perform post-stall maneuvers, and outturn opponents in dogfights. This design isn't just about showy aerobatics, it's a combat advantage. In a close-range engagement, being able to rapidly change direction can mean the difference between securing a kill or becoming a target. Raw speed and supersonic stamina. When stripped of external weapons or fuel tanks, the F-22 can cruise at Mach 1.8 in military power, no afterburners, and exceed Mach 2 when the afterburners are engaged. While plenty of jets can reach similar top speeds, the Raptor's Supercruise capability gives it a decisive edge. It can maintain supersonic flight for long distances without guzzling fuel at afterburner rates. This means it can close in on targets much faster than subsonic aircraft and even outrun some afterburner-dependent fighters without ever lighting its own burners. Invisible Hunter. Stealth is perhaps the F-22 Raptor's most defining trait, and it's evident from every angle of its design. Viewed head-on, the wings and horizontal stabilizers align in perfect symmetry, reducing radar reflections, while the fuselage's carefully engineered angles, specialized coatings, and even the precise placement of panel seams work together to shrink its radar cross-section. Yet the stealth strategy goes far beyond radar evasion. The Raptor's radar emissions are meticulously managed and can be concentrated to overwhelm enemy sensors during electronic attacks. Its engine exhaust is designed to suppress infrared heat signatures, making it less vulnerable to heat-seeking missiles, while its acoustic profile is minimized so it's harder to detect by sound. Even its matte paint and contours help it blend with the sky, reducing visibility to the naked eye. In essence, you may never spot the F-22, but rest assured, it will have already locked its sights on you. Eyes and ears everywhere. At the heart of the F-22's unmatched situational awareness is its advanced integrated avionics suite, which merges data from a variety of sensors into a single intuitive display, a process known as sensor fusion. This system incorporates infrared and ultraviolet detectors that can spot missile launches, an active electronically scanned array radar for pinpoint target tracking and detailed mapping, and passive radar receivers with more than 30 concealed antennas embedded in the wings and fuselage. Together, these components create create a real-time, comprehensive map of the battle space, allowing the pilot to see enemy aircraft and threats as if they were highlighted on a digital overlay. With this all-seeing capability, the F-22 can detect, track, and engage opponents without ever revealing its own position, turning every mission into a game the Raptor controls from start to finish. Weapons behind closed doors. Unlike most fighters that display their weapons on external pylons, the F-22 Raptor conceals its entire arsenal within internal weapons bays, preserving both its stealth profile and aerodynamic performance. The main bay, located beneath the fuselage, can house up to 6 LAU-142A launchers loaded with beyond visual range missiles such as the AIM-120 AMRAAM. Flanking this are 2 smaller side bays, each equipped with an LAU-141A launcher designed for short-range AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles. When it's time to strike, the process is lightning fast. The bay doors swing open for less than a second, and pneumatic or hydraulic arms thrust the missiles clear before their engines ignite. This rapid, precise deployment ensures that the Raptor's low observability is only briefly, and barely, disrupted, giving it the element of surprise in nearly every engagement. F-22 versus F-35, sibling rivalry in the sky. Although the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II are often mentioned in the same breath, they were born from distinctly different design philosophies. The F-35 is a true multi-role fighter, built for versatility, affordability, and seamless interoperability among US and allied forces. The F-22, by contrast, is a dedicated air superiority platform, purpose-built to dominate the skies in high-intensity conflicts. In raw performance, the Raptor takes the lead with a blistering top speed of Mach 2.25 compared to the F-35's Mach 1.6, and a climb rate of 62,000 feet per minute versus the Lightning II's 45,000. However, that performance comes at a cost, literally. Each F-22 carries a price tag of about $334 million and costs roughly $60,000 per flight hour, while the F-35 is far more economical at around $91 million per unit and $36,000 per hour to operate. The F-35's engine is the most powerful ever installed in a fighter jet, but it still can't match the Raptor's sheer speed and climb capabilities. Ultimately, the F-35's affordability and adaptability make it better suited for mass deployment, while the F-22 remains the unmatched specialist for air dominance, the end of production, and the road ahead. Despite its unmatched capabilities, the F-22's production run was short. In 2011, then Secretary of Defense Robert Gates declared the aircraft less relevant to modern, asymmetric warfare scenarios that the US was increasingly engaged in. The last F-22 rolled off the production line in 2012. Today, the US Air Force operates 186 Raptors, with about 183 still mission-ready. The fleet's average age is just over a decade, but as technology advances and newer platforms emerge, the Raptor's days at the top are numbered. Why restarting production wasn't the answer. At one point, US defense leaders seriously weighed the idea of restarting F-22 production, but the proposal was ultimately shelved. Instead, the Air Force chose to invest in the advanced F-15EX Eagle II from Boeing and direct funding toward the ambitious next-generation air dominance program. Unlike the Raptor, next-generation air dominance isn't centered on a single aircraft. It's envisioned as a family of systems that will integrate crewed and uncrewed platforms working in a coordinated, networked battle space. By the 2030s, the Air Force expects its core fighter fleet to be streamlined to just 4 main types: the F-35 Lightning II, F-15EX Eagle II, F-16 Fighting Falcon, and the still in development next-generation air dominance fighter. Tellingly, the F-22 Raptor will not be among them, marking the beginning of the end for one of the most formidable air superiority fighters ever built. A legacy of air superiority. Even as it nears the twilight of its career, the F-22 remains a symbol of American air dominance. It's not just the sum of its parts, it's the synergy of stealth, speed, agility, and information superiority that makes it so formidable. When the Raptor takes to the skies, it does so with an aura of invincibility. Its presence on a battlefield changes the rules of engagement. Adversaries must rethink their strategies, knowing an aircraft that can see first, shoot first, and disappear at will is in play. And that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible F-22 Raptor, the king of the skies. If you enjoyed learning about this engineering masterpiece, smash that like button. Want more epic aviation stories and defense tech breakdowns? Subscribe so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment with your favorite F-22 fact. I read every one. Until next time, fly high and stay curious.